Welcome, guys. Welcome to another interesting part of what's trending. It's your boy Danny, and you already know I am here for you. The story for today is kind of, we are going to educate ourselves on what we call albinism. Albinism, yes. As we all know, in Ghana here, we do call it ofli. Yes, we are doing this discussion because, Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism just posted a video whereby they are much concerned on the criticism and the discrimination of people with albinism. Yeah, so guys, let's kind of learn something more about albinism. When we say albinism, what is albinism? Like, what occurs, or what are the major factors of albinism? What are some of the things people with albinism faces in their day-to-day lives? Yeah, so from a research, when we talk about albinism, it's basically a genetic condition that is inherited from parents. It is caused by a mutation or change in certain genes that are responsible for the production of a pigment called melanin. Yes, so from what we just read, it is not a case. It is just let me say, a genetic condition whereby people inherit it from their parents. Yes, both sides of the parents. Yes, this is as a result of there's pigment found in the body which is called melanin. Melanin, yes, it's the duty of the melanin to give the body its color, either red, brown, chocolate, gold, any color you can name it. It is, yes. So if there is not enough, or if there is insufficient melanin in the body, it causes this condition we call albinism. But it's not a case as people are saying. Let's look at the role of melanin. When we talk about the melanin is the substance that gives color to your skin, hair, and eyes. Yes, the eyes. And they said specifically the iris and the retina. The genes responsible for albinism contain instructions for making the proteins and enzymes needed by specialized cells called melanocytes to produce melanin. These genes are mutated. The body produces very little melanin, or sometimes none at all. So from what we read, if they said there are some enzymes in the body that produces something we called melanocytes, and if the body is not able to produce this melanin as we are saying now, it results in the condition we call the albino. So guys, it is not a case, and it is not a taboo to give birth to a human being with such condition. So guys, how is this condition inherited? Let's read on it. How are this condition inherited? So yeah, so if both parents, they are not fully mutated, but they are just carriers of albinism. The two parents, if both parents are carriers, they, like when we say carriers, they are not fully albino, but they are they have the bacteria, or the traits in them. It means that the two parents, if they give birth now, the child is not likely to be albino. Yeah, so from the research, they said there's a 25% chances of the child becoming albino. So guys, from the research, albinism, or we say the most common form of albinism is oculocutaneous albinism. Oculocutaneous albinism, yes, follows as autosomal recessives inheritance pattern. This means a person must inherit two copies of the mutated gene one from each parent to have the condition. Yeah, so not from a single parent, but both parents should have, this kind of mutation in their body, which will result them into the baby or the child being albino. Yes. The other section said if a person inherits only one copy of the gene, they are a carrier but will not have albinism themselves. They will typically have normal pigmentation. So yes, it comes from both parents. But if one of the parents is albino and the other parent is not, meaning the child they will have, it's the probability of them or the child being albino, it's kind of less. Yeah, so another said for two parents who are both carrier, there's a 25% chance with each pregnancy that their child will be born with albinism. This is all about albino. But as I said earlier on, there are myths and criticism of people with albino. I just posted this video. Yes, and basically from the interview of those people, they said their major enemy is the sun. Yes, we all can attest to it that those people, when the sun is high, like it's bright during the day, they find it difficult to see clearly. So all they can do is squeeze their eyes to see through or walk. Yes, we all can attest to it. And not also, but they also said they face some kind of skin condition, like this man per se. He has cancer on the skin. Yes, due to the sun. So people with albinism, they are not a mutant, but just that it's a trait or it's a condition in both parents that has result or ended up being like this. But all the same, we shouldn't criticize them. Yes, we shouldn't criticize them. They are also human beings. So guys, for example, this woman like this, she said she went to she wrote an application for a restaurant or something like that, and because of her skin color, they didn't give her that job. But they told her that there's no vacancy. When she turned her back, they gave the vacancy to like a normal person or like someone with a normal color, which is kind of unfair. Those people with albinism, how are they going to fit into the society if we are criticizing them, if we are giving them names and stuff? So guys, let's be watchful and abstain or stop those kind of criticism that we are doing. It wouldn't help us to develop the community. They're also human beings like us. So guys, let's listen to their interview. After we continue with the discussion.
Ryan and Swala are siblings. One mother, one father, but different skin color. It's all due to genetics. Albinism happens just because of the lack of melanin, the pigment that gives color to the skin, hair, and eyes. For many persons with albinism, the sun is their enemy because the ultraviolet rays make them susceptible to skin cancer.
Cancer has its own side effects and complications. Because of delay in detecting it, I suffered the thyroid gland, the jugular vein, the external auditory canal were all affected.
So they have to mostly cover up. They also have challenges with vision. But the greatest enemy for many persons with albinism is stigma and discrimination.
My brother was neglected because he has albinism. The nurses were scared or afraid to touch him because they feel the condition is contagious. And so out of that neglection, we end up losing my brother.
When I was going to have an attachment with one of the biggest hotels in town, and because of my color, they refused to give me the opportunity to do the attachment there. They told me there was no vacancy, but immediately I turned, another person came and they gave the person the vacancy.
So guys, we heard from them, these are some of the challenges they are facing as a human being, or as a person living in a community. Let's learn some of the ill treatment and stigmatization of what they are facing. So from research we have here that people do call them names. Yes, it's here. Name calling there is child. People do call them names. Hopefully, and stuff. People have been calling them like their case, abomination, witches, all sort of names. And here we have that people with albinism are frequently subjected to public ridicule, teasing, and name calling with derogatory names and express contempt or disbelief in their humanity. Yes, it's here. And we also have harmful myths, harmful myths and cultural beliefs. Yes. We have curse or misfortune. Yes, albinism is often considered a curse or a form of punishment from the gods or ancestors for a wrongdoing committed by parents. Well, see, look at this. How can you just create something like that? Africa, there, Charlie, misfortune, like misfortune. How? If you don't know, you don't learn, like you don't read, so you just create a misconception, like on the identity of someone to just tarnish the person's image. Like, Charlie, guys, let's try and stop this stigmatization. Yes. We also have not fully human. Yes, there's a misconception that people with albinism are not fully human, but rather ghost, incomplete being, or a substitution for a proper child sent by a deity. Well, look at this. Do not die, but vanish. Widespread myth is that people with albinism do not die, but vanishes. Yes, this per se, I am kind of familiar with this, like in our area per se. Like it's kind of the people are just saying that they haven't seen a poster or an obituary poster with someone who is albino on it before. As in, like, they don't die, they vanish. Like, who does that? I think somewhere is it 2018 article. Yeah, they said shocking resident troop to watch obituary poster of an albino for the first time. Like they haven't seen a person with an albino person who has died before, so they just trooped to where the poster is to just go and see. I think it happened at, is it Kajebi? Yes. Like, it's small. It's small. And I think someone also posted on Facebook that since I was born, I have not seen an albino obituary poster. It's like they don't die. They don't used to die. Don't touch me. Oh. See, like, come on. It's small. But they do die. Look at this poster. People say, no, Mata in Wojo Etua. Yes, she died. She's also an albino. They do die. They are normal human being like us, but it's just a genetic condition. That is the reason why their color is like that. As we've learned already, it's a lack of melanin in the body. Yes, the melanin is responsible for the coloring of the body, the eyes, and the hair. So if the body did produce little or insufficient melanin, it results in such condition they are facing now. So guys, they are going through a lot. Like, they are going through a lot. So we should also be at least be supportive of their condition, because it is not easy for a broad daylight like this, like you can't walk properly, you are having irritated skin, your eyes too can't see clearly. They are going through a lot. So guys, let's be advised and let's stop the stigmatization now, and help and support them. They're also human beings like us. So guys, it's it's sad, but all the same, I think it's the misconception, because me for instance, I've heard it like a whole lot. I've heard about this misconception of these people, but all the same, I didn't bother to identify or research on it, like how this condition came about, because we Africans normally, we don't read, we don't do research. So we just assume or take what someone said that yes, as it's normal. So guys, this is what is trending now, yes, on or this is what the Ghana Association of Persons with Albino has come out with. This woman also wrote an article or a statement which was reported by TV3. According to her, she said, "I faced challenges on my visit to the clinic while pregnant because a nurse made a comment when the doctor asked me to do a stool test, and the nurse was wondering if I would be able to bring a stool for testing, or if I would go and collect someone else too, because she had learned that persons with albinism could not pass stool on Fridays." See, like, who does that? Who treats a fellow human being like this? This man also in his interview, he was saying that they had a condition, and they rushed one of their brothers to the hospital, but because the nurses, like a whole nurse or a whole doctor, like you should have knowledge on this field, or learn something on albinism, they were they were scared that it is a contagious disease, which led to the death of his brother, which is very sad. Like, this teaching should often be preached, yes, because those people, they are dealing with a whole lot of things, and we are also criticizing them and calling them names. It is weird. I heard recently too, I think there was a post that in some community, if you found a person with albino, and you bring them for sacrifice, like you get a whole lot of money and stuff. Like, come on, all this, they are just myths and rubbish. So guys, let's the educated ones also spread the news and help to fight against this stigmatization of people with albinism. So guys, that's for today. See you in the next video. What do you think? If maybe you also have experience, or maybe you also have an idea of how to cope, or how to manage or keep this kind of stigmatization in Ghana, or in Africa, let's have your comments at the comment section. And also, do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This is Daniel for you. I leave you in peace. See you in the next video. Bye bye.